All right, it's on you.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome to Zealots of Zul, our week 14, believe it or not.
Wow.
I'm Cliff Dunn, your Dungeon Master, co-creator of ZealZaddy, and we want to thank you and welcome you to, believe it or not, it's our 14th episode. Tonight's episode, Plans, Fans, and Caravans, and brought to you in part by our good friends here at the Adventure Game Store and Dragon's Lair, who host our fantastic event every Sunday and our other special events. So thank you very much to Brian. And things are really taking shape here, by the way. This week there was a lot of movement on the cafe side, so come on down and check things out if you're in the greater Fort Lauderdale area, and even if you're not, come on down please and see us. Also, we want to remind you that we are now affiliates on Twitch, and for which we thank the fine folks at Twitch, and we thank our fine participants, those of you who have subscribed. We want to welcome to our family of zealots, our Zealots of Zion, who are out in the fantastic state of Utah. Tim and his men, Xavier and Max, who I knew, fellas, I knew your dad back before you were born. Wow, it's really, yeah, I know, crazy stuff. Wow. So they are.
I must be like 4.
Close, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
No, they're watching us in the Beehive State, Utah, in southern Utah, where they are actually having winter right now, I believe.
Beehive State.
I've never heard that before.
That's the Beehive State.
I have no idea.
Indeed. Because those Mormons are like busy bees, and they're doing their stuff, so that's kind of cool. But it's a beautiful place to live. I lived in southern Utah for 5 years. Had tremendous separation anxiety when I left there because it is really amazing out there, and so we really appreciate you subscribing on Twitch. And for those of you that get Amazon Prime, you get a free. What's the proper?
It's a free subscription per month. So that means that once per month they can subscribe to one channel on Twitch for free. You do have to reset the subscription every single month, but
can you switch that over so it's not
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But yeah, it's basically. Yeah, it's once per month. You can just get a free subscription, and you can set it to the same one every single month, but you do have to reset it every month. So.
Sweet. So, and I know that is how Tim and crew are watching us. So,
thank you for using our freebie.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
So, also, for those of you that are subscribing on Patreon, we are offering weekly updates, both the secret notes that none of the players can see, and there's a lot of actually expositional stuff on there.
So we subscribe.
Right. Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's out there. There are no secrets, on the intrawebs. But so we are offering that, and also additional things like non-player characters. And I want to mention too that it is very much our intention for you to run your own games and campaigns in the Zealots of Zul milieu. And so if you have any questions about things that are happening in the course of the game, stuff that are happening with the characters themselves, you can always shoot me an email, cliff@ZealZaddy.com, and I'm happy to get back to you and to open the kimono, let you into the yurt, and come on to my yurt, and we'll let you. I'm happy to share whatever information with you that you'd like to know. In addition, we're going to, it's our long-term plan to release a campaign book and this, that, and the other thing, for which we are working diligently and such. So, and how do they subscribe to us, Scott, on Patreon? It's
Go to patreon.com/ZealZaddy, and there are different tiers there.
$2 is the lowest tier, right? It's $2 to start, and you have access to all kinds of cool information, and we're going to be offering additional things. For instance, the opportunity for you to have a game run by one of our players and/or myself within the world, also. So these are different things that are going to be happening down the pike to encourage your participation and to thank you for your ongoing support, etc. So, thank you very much. When we last left off last week, Alice, you were about to meet. You had just sat down to meet with the legendary Badishar Master Thief Queen Esmira, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Correct.
Also, I will get back to that in just a second. If I'm not mistaken, Kepri and Arslan had both gone back to check out their newly acquired the former Tower of Zabaranth in order to secure it, and
a masked person showed up.
you had encountered the person in the mask, right? If I'm not mistaken, Sabine, did you not? Were you and Anupam both at the temple at the same time?
No, I had gone to see Godrigo.
Oh, that's right. You gone to see
to get
Godrigo. Her
forgeries
contact.
made to get contact with the forger, and Anupam was at the temple, and then I guess starting as soon as we can get jobs, as Sabine can get a job in the what are the gardens called?
The Gardens of Kamal.
The Gardens of Kamal. Anupam would be coming along supposedly as my bodyguard, but he'll really be casing the joint while I perform.
Right, correct. Okay. And so
Anupam was at the temple alone, and I guess would be coming back from Godrigo.
Yes, I was taking a very well-deserved rest.
okay.
Still technically the same day I fought the giant, just saying.
Is it really?
It really is still the same night, yeah.
You see, you thought you were taking a well-deserved rest.
Really? It was the same day? Are you
I
sure
feel
it
like
was
it's
the
the
same
next
day?
day.
I think there was a day in between.
No, because remember, we had gotten to the temple right after the fight, and then
Right.
they came to get
Right.
us to go meet up
Well, you
with
did get some
what's his
sleep,
name?
but yeah, they came that night to
I got like
meet
a small rest.
Alejandro,
Yeah, it was the
and
same
you were
night.
drugged, and then we
Exactly.
went to what's his name's, and it's still the
it's still the
Okay,
same
that's fine.
Yeah.
God, it must
It's
be.
just, it was a very eventful night.
Yes, it must be almost morning by now.
I mean, hey, there are dungeon crawls that take like 5-6 sessions to get through, and they're all technically in the same day.
All right.
Right.
So it's I mean irrespective. Yeah, that's where we were. We had Arslan. Actually, before we get to
What did he say when he showed up with the mask? He said,
What about the treasure house? He wants to talk to you about the treasure house.
He said something. I don't remember exactly how he said it. It was,
I don't remember the phrasing.
it was interesting phrasing. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I do not remember.
I think we were surprised by the
It
mask.
was most
mask
definitely it was
person
something
maybe.
along the lines of I need to speak to you about the treasure house, or we need to speak about the treasure house, or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the treasure house. Something.
Cliff probably remembers.
okay, we'll get back to it. All right. So meanwhile, Attalus was in Rabbit's Run, which is kind of a rundown slum neighborhood in which you were meeting at this tavern with Queen Esmira,
The jackals.
the Black Jackal.
There, the black jackal. Seems like such a nice lady.
She does.
And,
Well, the black jackals.
That's the name of the bar.
Oh,
That's the name of the
oh,
That's the name of the
okay. See, don't ignore me.
No worries.
I tried.
Have a seat, Attalus. And she points at a bench.
Thank you. So you still have your skills about you?
And my wits.
Even better.
How about you? You've managed to stay alive for a long time. I can only imagine it's because you've kept ahead of those that wanted your head.
It also helps when things started to go south, disappear for a little while. Come back after things calm down.
I can see the value in disappearing when the heat is at its highest. So what brings you to see me here tonight, Attalus, old friend?
A few things, actually. One, I wanted to see...
Unless this is purely just social.
no, it's of a business nature.
Ah. You're just breaking my heart over and over again, Attalus. But since this is all business, then...
Well, you never know.
Don't start something you can't finish.
Taking you to task.
Can I get a pencil that doesn't look like it
Oh
will break if
my
I just
God.
look at it? I mean, I don't know why.
Would you try it
Do I look
before
like
you
I'm
just
about
start,
to-
you know,
I did,
ragging
and
on
it
my
broke
pencils?
4 times.
Here,
I
how
don't
about
like a
that?
pencil. Is there?
Here,
I don't
you-
have
you-
an actual-
Use
Yeah.
my pencil and I'll take one of your
First of all,
crap
No
pencils.
problem. Thank you. It's all good. I appreciate it. No, it's nice. I'm just not.
No, it's not. You've
Nothing
made
that I'm
your
sending
feelings-
is going to be.
You've made your
going,
feelings very
It's not going
clear.
to go to outer space or anything.
You have made your
So I
feelings
did-
very clear.
This is
It's
good.
okay.
This is,
It's not used to the mechanical pencil.
Mechanical pencils have their place
Mhm.
in a factory. All right.
There are a few things I wanted to actually speak to you. Our old mutual friend, Ralto, and how he came to that terrible demise. Also, got people that are interested in finding out who might be responsible for that. So I've been asking around quietly, but I haven't heard anything.
He had really fallen to a pretty sad level in his declining years, and it was a steep decline, unfortunately for him. But he didn't deserve to die that way. I don't know. I do know that you live a long time, you operate a long time, you make some enemies.
Do you know what kind of, or who might have been sending the message with the burned hands?
When Ralto was a kid, he ran with the Black Hand. I know that.
I was trying to piece together what that signified, and I was trying to send a message, obviously, to somebody. Just have some people that are looking to, try to find out who might have been responsible.
Well, Ralto was, I wouldn't say he was running with anybody, but he was mostly living off of his reputation and kicking up to the Beggar King for his own protection.
That's who had asked me to look into it. I was making some inquiries on behalf of the Beggar King to try to find out who might have been responsible.
I haven't heard anything definitively, and
Just something, if you can look in, just something to look into.
it makes me wonder why the Beggar King would have. The Beggar King has all sorts of sources of information.
That also had me.
What makes him think that you'd be able to find out something that he wouldn't?
He's got eyes and ears everywhere. If anybody would know anything, I would assume it would be him.
Not that you're in a position to turn him down, for those very same reasons that you just mentioned. But if I hear something, I'll be sure to tell you.
Okay. Well, and the other thing that I was here about, wanted to see what your thoughts are on the treasure house of the lifters.
My thoughts. I've got all sorts of thoughts about that. I guess the real question then is, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are getting inside. And come to pass that you would be a good person to partner with.
She smiles. She says, "Well, I'm touched that you would think of me first, maybe, or second.
Very high on the list.
We'll go with that for now. But my second and third story days are long behind me. I prefer to be more involved in the moving of acquired goods, and in the case of that place, there are a lot of goods that can be acquired, unless you're talking about strictly snatching the derricks that are in there. But there's a lot to be stolen.
There are a lot of things that need to be done. Also, diversionary things, things that were very crafty and wasn't looking to have you dangling from rope or anything. It was more in the lines of helping with some of the activities to it's a lot of moving parts.
I can see that, and I can also see where having an old bird like me, who still has a few talents on the line, and if there is anything to move afterwards, if there are any, if there's any hard merchandise, decorative arts, gemstones, jewels, I'll be happy to.
Well, that was the other reason I had come to talk to you, because of your discretion and just the long running relationship that we've had. I trust you.
And she,
with my life.
She smiles, and I'll let you know what I hear about our friend Ralto, and you'll let me know what else you need apropos of the treasure house.
I will.
All right. Back at the small tower, and actually, you know what? I both forgot the mask and what he had said, or she.
Some variation of "I wish to speak with you about something."
Yeah.
Well, we need to speak about it.
We should speak about the treasure house. What and please remind me and everybody, you were sort of outside in the
We're
courtyard
ready to go in. We
area.
had to kind of pick the lock on our own door.
Yeah, we were just testing the luck.
Oh, you were testing.
Yeah, we were getting ready to go in.
They felt somebody was behind them.
Right.
They turned around and this masked figure came out and
Right.
said something to the effect that we need to speak about the treasure house of collectors.
Then come in for a moment.
Yes, please. It is cold. Why don't you come in and we can start a fire, old friend.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What
I should see if there's wood.
What I have to say shall not take long. And make a perception roll, both of you, each of you, either of you, no, both of you actually.
Nice.
Not so nice.
12. Better than 12.
What did you get, Kemper?
Oh, I got a 3.
Oh, you did? And you got a 12?
No, I got a 10.
Okay. Oh, even better.
Yeah.
So
We are starting.
you see that stepping out of the shadows, there are, you can't tell exactly how many because it's very dark, but you get the sense that there are a couple of other people with this person.
I'll definitely put my hand in my hilt.
My hand was already on my one hand on the lamp, one on the kopesh.
Although I appreciate your discretion, I can assure you that you will not need to defend your lives this evening, at least not from me.
Oh, well, that's very it's very trusting.
I've come because word has reached me that you are interested in a very plum prize of the city.
So who are you that would know this kind of information already?
Yes, stranger. I mean, sorry. Yes, friend.
Are they all masked?
No, the others have cloaks, but you can't really make out
Can't see their
their
faces,
their
yeah.
faces, right? This one is the only one that's actually stepped out into the
Does the mask remind me of anything? Like, have I ever seen a mask like this, or is there any cult that uses this kind of a look that I know of? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm willing to wager I'm in the same boat. I don't know anything about it.
Right. And
A friend?
like you, I am a concerned citizen, and my concern, like yours, is also for the wealth within the treasure house. I believe that the treasure and the treasures contained within should be liberated to wash away the stain of the lictors and the prescriptions.
It's very noble of you, friend. Very altruistic.
You lost family?
Everyone here lost someone or something.
What would you seek from us? A cut of our of the wealth, a certain item in the vault.
The wealth within cannot be liberated if those who would take it are not successful in their endeavor. I would caution you that there are more than one way, that there is more than one way inside the treasure house. From above, from the side, and from below.
You've been in?
I think our friend has suddenly become mute.
I am familiar with this layout.
Are you sure you don't want to come in?
We can put on a pot of tea, perhaps.
Your friends can keep watch if necessary.
I'm not partial to tea.
Oh, neither am I. I hear it's polite to offer.
So what do you know of the layout that would be of use? Is it something that would take you time to draw out? Or do you have drawings already?
It's obvious you wish for us to succeed in this endeavor. Otherwise, you and your friends would have murdered us on the spot, and then that'd be that. Or something. Perhaps it's just my imagination running away with me. But when a masked person approaches you in the dark, typically your mind goes to places that aren't quite nice.
I wanted you to be aware that there are those who will have an interest in the wealth within, over and above your own considerations. If it serves me, I will be in further touch with you.
So if we were to succeed, are you saying that they would come asking for whatever we liberated from the place?
Perhaps ask isn't the right word.
Perhaps it's not. So we would take all the risk, and they would take all the reward?
You should be careful who you trust.
Yes, we will be careful of who we trust, mysterious masked individual in the dark. But you, of course, and I can't really see your friends.
You hear muffled laughter from behind the mask.
Are you here to offer something, or are you here to warn us? I'm not sure exactly what you're doing at the moment.
I think inform is part of it.
Then inform.
We've been informed.
Nothing we didn't already know.
Of course.
I'm sorry if I offended you in any way.
No.
I'm interested in what you know. I'm also interested in what you want.
Fair enough. When I learn that, perhaps I'll let you know.
You'll know where to find us.
Do not be a stranger. Drop by. We'll have some tea and honeyed wines for you when you arrive.
And the person in the mask steps back and is engulfed in the darkness.
Wait a minute. Explain engulfed in darkness. In this game, that can mean at least two different things.
Well, no, steps back into the shadow of
I suspect
the outcrop. The outcrop
I don't
building.
think I don't think we were dealing with any bad juju at the moment.
Yeah.
You'll follow him to Sura.
Well,
Maybe.
that was something.
There are way too many people catching wind of this. It puts all of us at way more risk than we need to be at to do this.
I agree. Let's go inside before another masked individual approaches us.
We go
Out
in.
in droves tonight.
Hello. I hear you.
We go in.
Please lock the
It
door.
better not squeak.
We'll
It
deal
does
with
not.
Brand new.
We will deal with that in the
It's
morning.
perfectly balanced.
It's the
As all
most
things
fabulous
should be.
door that anyone has
Right.
ever
It only
made.
took 4 sessions to get it going.
Hey,
50 Garricks.
proper doorsmithery cannot be rushed. I will let us touch.
There's some braziers and things inside the.
Yeah, there's some hanging things and
We haven't
whatnot.
gotten a chance to get in and do anything with it yet. Like something.
Makes much sense.
8, 9, and then
I want the masked man, open the door, I want the masked man. You know, it seemed a lot bigger last time. It seemed bigger to you.
Anupam, so you were at the temple of Baal, correct? All right.
Yes.
And if memory serves, the archpriest had told you that he had arranged with the patrician to
Grant me refugee status.
right, and so he tells you, if you would like, come tomorrow here, and we will go together to the Great Casbah, and I will speak your case to the prince personally, to the patrician personally,
And I will be here.
and please try to get some sleep. You look horrible.
I don't particularly feel all that great right now, so maybe I think I will.
And one of the cannons of Baal comes out, and they attend to you, and you get the equivalent of a potion of extra healing. You get 11 hit points
Oh,
back.
sweet. Yeah, cool.
And it takes you about an hour and change, for them to administer to you and to provide the proper. So, and you probably just crash the rest of the night in your abode there.
Indeed.
On the temple grounds. Sabine, what were you about?
I'm coming back from Rodrigo's, and I would probably go to check on Anupam. Well, I'm going to get some sleep then as well. Because
Okay.
apparently all of this stuff has happened in one night.
Yep.
I'm exhausted, quite frankly.
This has been a very busy day for everybody.
Well, I was going to stay at Anupam's as well.
Okay. So, Arslan and Kepri.
So what do we... Forgive me, my mind has been upset at the fact we had an unintended visitor who apparently knows we are about to break into one of the best guarded places in the city. What were we here
what do
for?
you mean one of?
Fair enough. I don't know. You'll have to forgive me. I assumed it was on par with the palace and the Black Cat of Rome. I am...
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Let's not find out about the last one. Again. What were we here for again?
To see what the insides were like at this point. I'm assuming all the bodies have been removed. We want to.
That would be nice.
Hopefully by tomorrow we can get some people in here to start making headway into into making it something.
That'd be good. Hopefully there are no wild dogs in with the bodies. Although there aren't bodies with wild dogs.
It's been long enough. If there were wild dogs, the bodies are gone.
I would hope so. Not that we can't deal with a couple of wild dogs, but still. Better not to be bitten. So, shall we?
Yeah. We're just gonna kind of wander through a little bit, and I don't want to go deep in. I
Right.
just want to make sure that the front area is emptied of whatever. There's no animals making a new home in here. Make sure that there's no vagrancy happening that we need to deal with. Probably need to put some spikes over the door to make sure no birds sit above it.
Birds are a blessing.
Okay.
Okay, certain birds are a blessing.
So we need to decide what we're going to do with this place. It would be good to have a place that information flowed in.
It would. It would be have a nice place. Nice to have a place where we can lay our heads without fear of.
Yes, but we need a front too. Nobody wants to
Well, you are.
go to the Guild of Thievery.
Well,
It won't last long.
from what I hear, there are many thieves around, and I don't think
Yes,
they
the
would
dire
appreciate.
makers. At least they seem like something legitimate.
Well, you are opening. Are you not opening another storefront here?
Yes.
That was
I'm
gonna.
not sure that's exactly the perfect place to do this. It's not close enough to the bazaar. Maybe it could be something else.
Well, perhaps
It's open to discussion.
a warehouse for storage of sorts. That was what it was for before.
Which is what Sabine told the people that you were doing.
Oh, okay.
That was my thought too. So
Okay.
there's this expanding warehouse for
I know that
whole
you.
goods.
I know that Sabine ran a PR campaign just to show how cool and great that Adelson's shop is, but I didn't know it. I didn't. Or sorry, Arslan's shop was, but I didn't know
It will
if
be
it.
great.
What's that?
It will be great.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. My question, I just didn't
I still
know.
don't know if we'll be able to buy anything.
Well, maybe they can't buy
It's
from
just
the warehouse.
storage.
Yeah.
The prices are so low. It's criminal how low they are. Well, okay.
Depends on if you're buying from the front part of the shop or back.
Yeah. Come to Honest Arslands.
No.
Crazy Arslands.
Should we let us go? My concern, the first one off the top of my head. Let's see if our guests down south escaped. You know, the creatures.
You want to go that far in?
Oh, wow.
There's two of us.
Oh, how far do you want to go?
I just want to make sure there's nobody living right inside.
Okay.
That's where they're.
All right, we will look. Is there anyone in the
vagrants
warehouse?
aren't going to go deep
Well,
in
you've
this
got
place.
Ranger, you can see if any. It's a dirt floor.
Yeah. I will check to see if there was anyone who snuck into our secret catacombs.
It doesn't look like there's been
Okay.
any. You get a sense that you could tell. It doesn't appear that there's been any.
Yeah, we don't need to spend all night in here. It's dark already.
Well,
We're going to need sleep.
And there
We're gonna
are
come with
nasty
people.
things further in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have
Maybe, or there
more
were at
people.
one time. Yeah.
we will have
It
to.
hasn't been cleaned out yet.
Huh?
It hasn't been cleaned
Right,
out.
it hasn't. There's too much risk for two people.
Well, okay. Well, give me a moment. Stay right there. And I will make sure that no one has come down into our little hideout.
I'll follow. I'll come down with him.
Well, I'm not going down yet. I am checking the floor.
Oh,
And Capri checks the floor.
what are you looking for?
Tracks.
Tracks. Any signs of disturbance?
Yeah, recent passage, and you don't really get any.
A smashed pot or two if someone were
There's,
clumsy. Yeah.
there's rats, some kind of, small rodentia.
I found
Poison
something.
those.
I found
Bunnies,
something.
It's full of bunnies.
Right. I just drove through a neighborhood that was full of bunnies. True story. I swear. White bunnies, black bunnies, brown bunnies,
Just all over.
It's integrated.
and they were on people's lawns. I'm not making this up. It's insane. They were on people's lawns. It's like within 10 minutes of this place.
It's a Christmas miracle,
It's weird.
or it's a lot of bunnies having sex.
Right. More than,
Festivus miracle.
It is definitely a festival.
Yes.
but
I found something. Rat droppings.
You can leave those for now. We'll have someone pick those up.
And something else.
They're fresh. Well, I have come to the conclusion that our sanctum sanctorum is unmolested.
Then let's leave.
Let us, before we are again approached by strangers with masks in the night, this time with knives.
We'll leave, lock up.
Okay. And you return to your emporium.
Head over that way.
I will follow.
We should get some sleep.
Sleep would be nice.
It's going to be a busy day tomorrow again.
It is always a busy day, is it not? Captain will go and lay his weary head.
Have you seen one of those masks like that before?
Not in my travels. It has no religious significance, no cultural significance, none from my people or anywhere I've seen them. Something to think about and ponder on the morrow, perhaps.
After my meeting, I would have headed back over to a shop. I was going to just let them know what I had found out.
You encounter Atlas when you get back to your place.
How'd your evening go?
Went well.
Let's go inside. We need to talk out here. Seems there's too many ears already hearing too much. Then we'll go ahead.
What is that in reference to?
Well, we went to check on the warehouse, and we were approached by someone wearing a mask. And I'll describe the mask as best I can. Any significance to you? And other people stayed more or less in the shadows wearing cloaks. And they said that they all had lost things during the time of the lictors. They were interested in making sure that
Well, they didn't. One person was talking. Well, I'm saying they weren't all talking.
yeah, one person's.
It was a generalized statement.
Yeah. And they were interested in our success, but of course for reward.
This person didn't reveal themselves to you. You didn't see who it was.
No.
So we are at a disadvantage where
Already.
that is.
How many people do I
7.
think there were there?
There were at least 2 other people with the person you were talking to.
Oh, that's it. It was the small room. Oh.
Yeah, we couldn't get a beat on them because we both were abysmal at our
Yeah. There were 3, 4, 5 people too.
Did you ask him to identify himself or herself?
That was not happening. I guess one of us could have just grabbed the mask. That might have caused a disruption.
I thought it would be rude.
It would have been rude, for sure.
Well, I mean,
But no more rude than sneaking up on someone with a mask in the middle of
But
the
there were
night.
also 2 other people there with you know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it wasn't like they were.
Well, my meeting with Queen Esmera went well. I think we've trying to enlist her help in this venture.
What does she do that would be beyond what you do?
We're going to need a lot of people to do lots of different things.
We are.
She's trustworthy.
And you don't really know yet at this point, which, right, exactly what you're...
And you know her to be trustworthy.
I've worked
Known
with her
for a long
for
time.
many, many years. You know of her.
I know of her.
She is able to, some of the things that are, she has the utmost discretion, but is able to, some of the things that you come across that are a little hotter than you like to handle are things that she deals in.
What things are those?
Pieces of artwork, jewelry that went missing from certain
Also,
homes of
acceptable.
notable individuals in the city.
my biggest concern at the moment is not her or the Beggar King. It is Who was this person that showed up that knew something?
Yes, I find that very upsetting.
Maybe Sabine knows what that mask was. Is Sabine in the shop? Are you inside?
I think she's at the temple.
Let's get some rest and head over there first thing in the morning.
Yes. Lock up.
Alright, so you do.
I think I need some more locks.
Oh, how did everything look at the top? At the warehouse?
A cursory walk through the front area. The door is hard to lock and unlock, but that may be a benefit in some ways.
That's a good thing.
But it's quiet when it opens. There's no disturbances in the entryway or foyer or whatever areas are in the front. We didn't go much further. It was dark and there's too much risk when there were just two.
We have rats.
Right.
Everywhere has rats.
This is their home.
Sweet, yeah, Vanishar.
I know. People we must be kept appraised of the situation. But we don't have big rats.
We'll have cats.
This would be nice.
That's a good idea.
No, the Chemish. Yeah.
It's neat.
Can eat. They worship cats or something, don't they?
Yes. Well,
Or a cat god or something.
yes. It's funny you should mention that. My home is actually my home province was the site of the main temple of Bast. Before we became the glorious united nation that you see before you, we were originally ruled by a series of kings and provincial kings and queens, put in there by the priestess of the Bast. Until
I've never been there. I'm not sure I would say that I've seen an amazing place before me.
well,
It's just rumors at the moment.
perhaps one day when this
Sure.
my our little endeavor is fully functioning, I'll have to take you there, guest of honor.
Sounds wonderful.
It's not.
Let's
Well,
get some sleep. We need to go get to the temple early.
early, yes. Oh joy.
We'll get a long rest.
Sleep.
That's so D&D to say. I even hate the sound of it.
You do get a good night's rest. Well, I mean, when you think about it, it has been an eventful 48 hours. So,
Riots.
Although Sabine is already awake and making tea by the time Anupam would awaken.
okay. And you wake up and, well, you feel a lot better from having been,
I certainly do. Get up and start stretching.
Here, drink this.
Oh, well, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I wasn't expecting to see you here when I woke up. Hello. Good morning. Thank you. It's actually pretty good.
It will ease your pain without dulling your senses.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
I got a busy morning ahead of me. Oh, right, you don't know. So evidently the high priest has requested for me to be granted refugee status here in Madison.
How very good for you.
Yeah, just have to go meet him, and then we gotta go speak to the
patrician.
Patrician. There you go. So, thank you very much for making some tea. This is great. I've gotta go meet up with him now. So, yeah, just let me know if I miss anything while I'm gone.
What do you expect to miss?
I don't know. This is my life nowadays has been very eventful, so I'm just assuming things are gonna happen.
Indeed. Do you remember much from last night?
There is a few hour window there where it got very hazy. Particularly, I remember clams. I remember blue clams. I remember talking with somebody about something.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be able to fill you in. With
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. I've got to go. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. I've got to go.
Anupam makes his exit and goes to find the archpriest. What do you do, Sabine?
I am going to go back to my rooms at the temple, make sure I'm ready to clear out, as I'm supposedly going to take up residence at Arslan's stall.
Arslan's Emporium.
Yes. Well, not what was once the small tower, but
Right.
yeah. And I mean, certainly waiting on word from Godrigo.
And what were you waiting on? Oh, Godrigo was going to find.
A forger.
Was going to get right. Okay, yeah.
And I believe it was Eliandro was going to get me jobs.
Correct.
Or be a connection at least to people who could get me jobs in the city. So just getting myself ready for all of that, and I mean that's about it. I had made an arrangement with a certain someone to get any information that came from the archpriest's mail and all of that was about what was going on in Vanar. I don't know if I'm going to get that at any point, but that was something I wanted to know.
Okay, I mean, you don't hear anything back at this point apropos of that, but so what were you? Understood. So I got it. What were you? So what were those among all those threads? What were you going to pursue?
There's just a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for some things to happen and general information gathering, but I'm waiting to get responses back.
Understood.
Things, yeah.
Okay, sweet. I got you. All right.
Well, we've got time. I was going to head to the market. That stuff that I can make a draft of that kind of harder, the healing stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to the market. Thinking once we get into the warehouse and be able to there's plenty of room over there, so I want to kind of ramp up production.
Okay.
Get some bigger.
Arslan, we gotta cook.
We just went Breaking Bad.
Right.
Arslan, we gotta cook the lotus.
Well, I've got a small operation here, and I can only make so much. It takes a while, but
Kepri,
I've got more.
How much is it for a Winnebago nowadays?
what were you?
Lotus.
What arrangements have you made in terms of transportation? What were you going to do?
Well,
Who's going with you?
I hadn't even broached the question. It's something.
I mean, we can. I'm assuming that you're making the
Oh, no,
correct
yeah,
arrangements, but I just wanted to discuss it.
Yeah, no.
Having had discussed it.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like when I was at the CARAVANS, I was arguing with the dullard about the wine before I was saved from subpar wine.
Basically, you're providing escort. You're not bringing anything. You're providing escort.
No, this is just a little gift.
So,
little welcoming gift for someone I hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, right. So, but I'm talking about apropos of the.
I was planning on either getting a camel caravan together, or.
So you were going to get camels for each of you, or horses for each of you. I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
What sort of provisioning are you?
Yeah, I've crossed the waste a time.
I'm going to assume that you got a suitable gift. You can tell me what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Either through.
Yeah, of course, I have.
Arslan.
I have contacts.
Right. You could even go to an even nicer shop, the one that's owned by Khalil Azmi. Sorry. Good.
Don't worry, we're working on it. We'll get you high class soon.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
kidding.
Also, that that's.
I've been basically gathering The top things on Kepri's mind, besides his welcoming gift, was transportation, either in the form of camels, one for each of everyone,
Right.
or some sort of wagon and oxen. That was another thing. And supplies. Supplies, like, more than you need for crossing. Like,
It's about a week. It's going to be about a week to get to where you need to go, Fort Zayed. So, and then
yeah,
a
so
week back.
I'm working on getting provisions like dried dates, meats,
Right.
just everything I can to like I said, Kepri's crossed once or twice.
Right. And so what? And I'm not clear. Are you going to get an ox? Are you going to get a wagon? Are you
Well, that's
gonna
the
get
thing he's been
camels
debating.
versus- Oh, okay.
He's been debating on
Well,
that.
debate no more. Now is the time for
No.
exposition.
Now is
Time
the
to
time for-
debate is over. Maybe I wasn't clear.
No, I get you. He's actually settled on he's getting camels for everyone,
All right.
and he will have like a wagon with like a ox to carry all this excess supplies.
Cool.
Just so then
One ox,
2 ox.
two ox, two
Of course,
oxen.
I'm a veteran of Oregon Trail, man. You don't go with just one ox.
Hell no.
And
God, we're all gonna die of dysentery.
it's fine.
Pretty much what happens.
If it was good enough for King John, it's good enough for you.
I cannot believe
No,
you beat me to it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, camels and an ox or 2 with
Yeah.
a cart.
I like it.
Covered.
Covered one.
Yeah,
Covered,
of course, going through the desert.
covered
You
wagon.
always die just there if you have a covered wagon.
Well, the other thing is you'll die of heat stroke if you don't have the covered wagon.
That's fair.
So,
I mean,
Okay. So I understand. And while you are making these final arrangements, because I'm guessing your plan. Well, you have to leave in 2 days if you plan to meet Ozira in the correct time. And while you were there,
you let your friends
Oh,
know.
well, true.
Yeah. Yeah, we are unaware of this trip.
Really?
oh yes, no.
I told you.
No, that's all right. I was unaware of.
Yeah.
He's aware that we're unaware.
No, that's all right.
That's good.
I
Well,
was-
at least he's aware of that.
no, I'm aware
That's all that
that
matters.
I am aware that you're unaware, just as I was unaware of our current plan that we are in now. So soon you guys will be aware of the plan, just as I was aware of the plan.
And at the
Plans outside
caravan,
of
you
plans.
received that.
Ah.
Not within plans.
Miss it?
Yes, on papyrus.
Up high?
Very hard piece of joke.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I always like to keep the ceiling tags there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like, okay.
Quiet.
Playing it close to the chest, I see.
Yeah, but no, for the benefit, because I'm the only one there. There's no one else.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's
No, for the benefit of the viewers at home. The 9th day of Potrimpo, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kepri, my brother.
Which would be the equivalent of October.
The delegation is ready to depart from Gira. We will soon begin the mount. Okay.
What's that?
We can't see you
We
behind
can't
us.
see your face.
Oh, right.
He is
Yeah.
hiding.
I hide.
So from the top,
the delegation is
the legation.
legation. I can't read. My secret shame is ready to depart from Gira. We will soon begin the month-long journey to Fort Zaid. There are additional considerations that have presented themselves in the time since we last wrote, which I will not commit to papyrus. Suffice to read that not all in Typhon ask for our success. That many eyes are watching, and the rewards for success to our house are lofty, as will the drops should failure obtain instead. Ozira, your sister. I laughed. Oh yes, I should probably inform my companions of this.
I mean, if you want, you know.
Well,
I thought he had talked to you about it.
No.
Nobody?
No.
He never talked to any of you?
Never
So this was
officially
all in his mind? He was having these conversations?
I get
officially mentioned.
I get very carried away and my stuff is like,
He's enthusiastic.
I'm enthusiastic.
You're zealous.
I am zealous.
Hey.
I am a zealot
No.
of Zul.
Hey, name drop.
That's the name of the title.
They said the thing.
So, I finish up my preparations, tuck my papyrus letter into my begin making my way to making my way to the shop to inform everyone of a lucrative new opportunity in
To
travel.
excitedly tell us that we're all gonna go meet your sister.
Right. I also am on my way to the shop.
Don't you guys love to travel? Traveling is great.
I don't know, I haven't traveled since I was 11.
Ah.
The last time I traveled, I came here.
I've
Me too.
See? Then you met us?
I've heard that the wilderness is full of beasts and
It
death
is.
and danger everywhere.
Oh, it is.
I don't love to travel.
I love to travel. You meet so many new interesting people and things on the road.
I guess I walk in on this? Like,
Well,
has this actually started?
No, I come in.
I was about to say,
This is not a character.
Okay, good.
Ah, morning.
this is not.
Who is there? I know you were there.
He's there.
You're there, right?
I'm about
was
to
able
arrive.
to gather my things at the. I was in the market looking for.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
See if you've got some stuff in your shop. You've been to my flat. You've seen the setup that I have.
Have I been to your flat?
Yeah, we've been.
Yeah.
Oh, we went once.
We've been there. all
We're
the time.
invited
Quite a
one
few times. Actually, no, I was there one time.
I've got a
Yes.
small area where I make
Where you cook?
some alchemy stuff.
Potions,
Let me cook some.
ointments.
Right.
Blue map.
Lotions and potions.
I like to call it the Blue Lotus.
Blue
So
map.
actually, I'd go by his shop to see if he's got anything that I could utilize.
At a discount. Friendly.
Of course.
Ah. Oh,
Make a perception roll, Atlas.
$24.
As you round the narrow bend, you see heading towards Arslan's. You see somebody that you recognize. You see somebody standing outside. That looks like they're I don't want to say casing the place, but looking unobtrusively, standing unobtrusively amidst some of the other stalls in the souk, and you recognize it. I believe, yes, you recognize it as Dirhan, the slave of Khalil Azmi.
Try to make my way to him without him observing me. I know he's pretty good at not being seen, so.
True.
how not to be seen?
So I'll try to get the drop on him.
You get the drop on him.
Okay.
How not to be seen and sneak up on people.
Turhan, can I help you with something?
Ah! Effendi. And he looks around. He's got a nervous look on his face. Yes, please.
Would you like to come inside?
Yes, I would speak with you. Please.
Come inside. I'll take him into Arslan's shop.
Have I arrived yet?
No, I think I'm arriving first.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Maybe you did.
Look who I found outside.
Welcome.
He bows.
What were you doing outside? Were you looking for us?
Yes, I was. I was also. I wanted to make sure that I was not seen, and that's when you arrived.
Kepri bursts in the door. Friends, I have the greatest doctor. Oh, hello.
You are among friends here.
Come,
Is this?
close the door.
Make a perception roll, all three of you.
I definitely miss.
I get
Natural one, not unnatural.
17.
Nice. You don't even know there's somebody there.
23.
Okay. I mean, you can tell that he's
Nervous.
nervous.
Is this a friend of yours? I don't believe I've met him.
You were there.
No.
No,
No, he was
You
not.
weren't at
Mm-mm.
the go. Okay.
No,
No.
it was not.
I have to remember that's how I got informed in the plot.
Right.
I was off doing preparations in my head.
Right, for the journey that
Right.
we don't know we're doing.
Turhan, this is another one of our companions, so you are among friends.
You are one of my master's countrymen, yes?
Oh yes. Yes, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ibn al-Capri. But you may call me Capri as you are a friend of my friends, then you are my friend.
This is the Kemet we mentioned in the meeting. Kemish, sorry, Kemish.
Quite all right. No offense taken.
Forgive me, masters, I am,
You seem nervous.
I have been many years under the power of other men. It is not something that I have wholly gotten used to.
Well,
And my safety has been entirely
at the mercy of your betters. I do not mean.
I know what you mean. He knows what you meant.
Yeah.
Have a seat. You're welcome here.
He sits down.
Would you care for some wine?
I would, please.
Good. Have him go get some wine. As I go and rummage through his cabinet, his pantry.
I do not wish to seem ungrateful to my master. He was very kind in taking me in at a time when, blessings upon you.
It's not my wine.
One with the heavy hand there.
It is? No,
He was very kind at a time when I was in need of sanctuary and refuge. But my master is also one who expects payment, and so I knew that I would be able to offer him something that would pay for my own safety these years since. But I have not told my master everything that I know.
Capri,
Yes.
there's another. Well, I'll go get it. We've got some better wine. I'll be right back. I know where he has the good stuff. It's okay, Armstrong.
There
Here's-
needs to be some olives
Here's a-
too.
Okay, I'll get that too.
Yes.
There the door opens.
I walk in more quietly than that. The
Oh.
door never squeaks when I open it.
Ah, power of narrative.
She's been working there. She's
I'll just oil the. Look, look, look.
Oh, I see I need another cup.
Not at all. What a fortuitous time for me to drop by. There seems to be a meeting going on.
Yes, we had a visitor come this morning. Just a
Spontaneous.
few hours ago.
And
Or
what
a
is
few
it?
minutes ago. I mean.
And what is it that our visitor said?
He said he needed wine first.
So we
Which
stole his
I always
wine. And we stole more of his wine. Okay, we borrowed it. We will give it back later.
So what is it that you need to unburden yourself of that is obviously important enough to
Hide from your
keep from your master?
Well, I can provide you with a key into the treasure house itself. By far, I have a more valuable key. The key that belonged to my former master, Count Linnaeus Palamon.
Oh,
It is the key to the steel vault door itself.
Oh my.
There are 3 keys that are needed to open the door, and they must be used simultaneously. Or 1 key and 2 expert thieves unburdening the other 2 locks at the same time. But it must be done
Precisely.
I have one of the keys.
Who are the holders of the other two keys?
The other two, the surviving lictors, Count Giardin Dalivas and Count Hamar Hadrathus.
I take it by your whimpering you know of at least one of them.
Yes.
That is good, I suppose.
No.
Oh.
Couldn't you tell by the whimper?
I could tell by the whimper, but better that you know him and then we know what to expect.
Are the other two keys similar to that key?
They are identical in all ways, except for the uniqueness of
The shape.
the shape for the lock. I will accompany you. I have the lock and the key.
You will accompany us.
I will accompany you for an equal share.
There's plenty. There's more there than we can spend in 100 lifetimes.
And then I would leave and never be seen again by my master. I also know the way around. I can be helpful to you. Although it has been some years since I have been on the property, I can give you insights into what the layout of the grounds are.
Are you familiar with alternate means of gaining access to the property?
I heard just yesterday that there are ways in from above, from the side, and from below.
From the side, certainly there are three doors in.
Intrigues me.
Me too.
From below, the sewer, yes, perhaps, but I have no knowledge of how to
What
get
of the above?
over the wall.
I only heard from above. Is there an entrance on the roof of the treasure house?
Something to investigate, I suppose.
I mean, you got the sense that could have been a fanciful way of saying it rather than.
No, fair enough.
Okay.
Do you
I
know
don't want you to
where?
pursue anything that might.
Get us killed?
I mean, I'm not saying, but
Pole vault. We're gonna pole vault our
Do you
way.
know where the other two surviving lictors keep their key? Around their necks, in a vault in their rooms, anything of the sort?
I cannot say. I do not.
We'll have to hike to a
I do not know where a lord would keep such a valuable item.
And what do you know of the one that you know?
More habits.
Yes. What is he like?
Obviously not good from the whimpering.
And what does he like?
Obviously nothing he likes from the whimpering.
Thank you, Kepper, you're being immensely helpful.
Thank you. This has nothing to do with the whimpering.
Thank you, Vishy, for the subscription. Very nice.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Nicely
I
done.
think we know exactly who that is
Welcome.
too.
I think you do too.
He is, as most nobles are, he's rash, rude, and arrogant.
What about
He likes to
dangerous?
use his pardon?
And what about dangerous?
Oh, he's a very dangerous man.
I mean, he was one of the three lictors, you know. In the,
Oh, thank goodness. I thought this would be easy.
Does he like women or does he like boys?
Perhaps both.
Does he entertain at his residence?
The time that I knew him, we didn't interact on a social level. I knew his sister quite well.
I see.
Caprice. Consider that.
Perhaps it
Well,
might be
that's
worth
an end.
pursuing to attempt to get one of the other keys, or perhaps both.
Before we delve into the depths of that, though, we have a guest that we should
Of course. It's rude to ignore your guests.
But as he also said, that with the having one key, between the two of us,
Are sure you can open it?
I am. I'm not so sure about Arslan. I'm confident in my skills. I
I
don't.
pick blocks.
That is a thrilling endorsement. Not that I don't doubt don't doubt your abilities in the least. I just wanted to say that.
This is a lock that I think is different than any lock even you've seen.
I'm sure.
It's something to keep in mind.
But we can learn something because he's already got a key.
May we see the key?
Because we can learn something about the mechanism that.
I did not bring it with me, but I can bring it.
Because we can learn quite a bit about the lock by examining the key.
Yes.
Uh,
That would be a
And I
valuable.
think that would be
Make
far
an impression.
easier. Well,
I think we are.
trying to obtain one of these other keys would likely possibly get one of us killed.
Not necessarily.
I think we are putting the camel before the caravan here.
We can talk about this.
I should return back to my masters before he misses me.
I do. If you all are in agreement, I would accept his
That's
proposition.
That is what I was.
I'm in agreement, but the next time you come here, make sure you bring that key.
I will, lady.
I will acquiesce to my partners.
Thank you for trusting us so much and making such a gracious offer.
I will return this evening, and I will bring the key with me.
Were you not offered freedom if this were to succeed?
Yes.
Oh.
So why
But
would
freedom
you need...
without money.
Yeah, you'd be on the street.
Oh,
Freedom without money is worth very little, in fact.
yes. I understand.
Well,
I shall return this evening. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
masters. He leaves.
now about that amazing opportunity.
The one, do you
No,
know he
no,
was
not that
coming?
one. Not that one. I have
You
a
didn't
new
know he
one.
was coming?
Before
No, not that one.
Another
we
one?
get to that, I think we should address the issue of I'm sure you're both very good at what you do, but perhaps having at least one more of the keys might be a good idea.
I agree.
Sure.
It might be worth pursuing to see the activities of these individuals and where we might be able to find out information where they keep that key.
From what I know, how far away is Hamar? Or he's not in the city.
Well,
is
when
he?
he lives in the city, he like the other nobles would live in the gardens of Kamal.
I thought he had another residence.
He does outside.
Outside.
He's a nobleman of the valley, so he has lands outside, but he lives in when he's in Badashar, he's in the gardens of Kamal.
I guess we could find out. Try to find out some information about his schedule when he visits next.
Is he not in the city?
Not always. He's one of the very wealthy nobles. He's one of the three and has his own lands.
Yes.
And presently, Eliandro arrives. And meanwhile, at the Temple of Baal,
Yes.
Anupam meets up with the archpriest, Harvin of Konox, who has his own train of his servants and minions are getting ready to actually go to the Grand Casbah to meet with the patrician, and they're all dressed in heavy black robes, which is perfect for the heat.
Yes,
And as you, the priests acknowledge you, most of them kind of tend to look down their nose at you because they know you, but they don't know who you are, and if they do, they don't like you.
It's okay. I have two shirts. That's fine.
Right.
We know
And
you are, we don't like
but they also are aware of your special place within the household of the archpriest. The archpriest sees you and acknowledges you, and the train departs from the ziggurat. There are parasols, umbrellas to protect against the heat, and you make your way through the narrow streets, and it takes you about an hour to get to the great Casbah of the patrician.
That's a long walk.
It is.
Holy crap.
And along the way, the archpriest doles out alms to various people along the way, and there's some of that sort of thing that goes on, and also a little bit of he stops off at a couple of places. None of them you're not along the way to Arslands, but he stops off at a couple of places, picks up food and the like, Over here, have a pear, Your Holiness.
Blessings of all of all.
Right, exactly. And eventually you get to the Great Casbah, and the patrician is actually in the gardens where you see there's large groups of members of the court, including ladies who tend to be off by themselves. And you're definitely in the entourage of the archpriest. And the patrician eventually takes note of the archpriest, who comes up, presents himself to the patrician, bows, and as you'll recall, the patrician is a younger guy, around 30, dressed in the rich clothing of a nobleman of the valley, and he has a large turban that's flecked with actual gold thread, and the archpriest bows, and the patrician says, "Ah, my Lord Harvin, I've received your message that you wanted to speak with me. Welcome." "Thank you, my lord. I actually come on the business of my guest, of whom you are, I believe, acquainted, Anupam of Gudwara, a member of the honored Order of the Scale of Fate." Had you met the patrician before?
Actually, I don't think I have.
You did.
Oh, you did.
I stepped outside the room, and because you guys were all.
It was during the Black Casbah.
Oh, right. During, you mean the, yes. Okay, in that case, yes,
Briefly.
I have, very briefly.
But you were not caught, right?
No.
No, he was the one
So
that had the
he
game.
No,
was-
I was the one that got the high priest to come bail you guys out. Yeah.
So we were with the high priest at the time, kind of standing there,
Right.
not begging for pardon, literally.
Excuse me, I threw myself at the mercy of the Badishar justice system and it did not disappoint.
Give it time. Yeah.
Because you have money and connections.
I have no money. Connections I've got, money I don't.
Well, your connections have money.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're in August company, my friend, and we welcome you to the city-state. Although I will confess that I am confused. Lord Harvin said that the request was to seek refugee status for someone who had departed from your lands under inauspicious conditions, yes, and circumstances?
Yes, that's correct. I'm not sure if you're aware of the situation that's happening in Boudoir currently.
By happy coincidence and strange circumstance, I am, for I have only today received the ambassador from the Nawab of Gudwara.
You're kidding.
And I appreciate a joke as much as the next man, but I assure you, friend, that I'm not. And you see this stepping forth from out of a group of courtiers is a person who looks like he just stepped literally and figuratively out of Boudoir. He's wearing the clothing of a well-placed courtier or nobleman himself, and he also is wearing a turban.
I don't recognize him, do I?
You don't recognize him, but you recognize one of your countrymen.
Right. He looks good Warren.
Right, he's Gudwaran, and he looks a little older than you, and he smiles. And he says, Anupam, yes?
Yes.
This is the patrician.
Right, yeah.
Allow me to present to you Tahir Khan, the ambassador from Prince Akbar VIII.
Write that fucking name down.
He's just a nobility.
Going on the list.
Fuck he is. Sorry, out of character. The fuck he is.
Yeah.
In character.
Fuck he is.
And Nalwar is a title that means viceroy.
Right.
Right. And it wasn't a title that was used, ever within the, it's not,
What was the title again?
Nawab, which is
Nawab.
viceroy,
But there's never been a Nawab.
That is, did you say that out loud?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
You're
I'm
Roll
thinking
it out loud.
I'm thinking it. No, I'm definitely thinking
You're
it.
thinking it, that it comes out of your ears
Yeah, exactly.
in words.
Exactly. There's a speech bubble. It's nice to meet you.
And to you as well, good Anupam, if I heard your name correctly.
Yes, you did.
I am delighted to see you, or well met so far from home. I am but recently arrived from our homeland, where our sovereign prince and perhaps your kinsman was recently acclaimed by the Dwari princes.
When you say sovereign prince, who are you referring to?
Why, Prince Akbar. Now, you know that the last prince who died about 100 years ago was
Right, yeah.
Akbar VII, And you know that there are probably the last you heard before shit hit the fan, there were as many as 24 or 36 members of the, princes of the blood that had any kind of say in this sort of thing. So,
Right, yeah.
But again, but you had no knowledge of any of them surviving the war, for starters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm very glad to hear that some of my kinsmen have survived the very blood-soaked incursion by the Rakshasa kings.
They will be gladdened and gratified to hear of your own survival. And I am keen and curious to hear of your adventures.
Oh, there will be plenty of time for that, I'm sure. Tell me, so what happened with all that? By the time that I left, they were just beginning their incursion into the country, and they had just slaughtered the entire order. So tell me, what happened? What did I miss?
And the archpriest steps up and he says, although the conversation does not take on like an edge,
You can feel the tension.
Yeah, there is a palpable tension, and the archpriest steps in and says, perhaps there is a better time to discuss this. Perhaps the ambassador will come to meet us at the temple, and you may have further discourse about this happy news.
Archpriest, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think that's a absolutely wonderful idea. We would love to host you at the Temple of Baal.
Would you be Anupam's guest at the ziggurat? Yes, I would be delighted. It would be a happy encounter and meeting. I'd be very interested to discuss with you everything that has happened and perhaps encourage you to consider returning.
I guess perhaps insight check.
Okay.
Insight check the fuck out of this man right now.
Okay.
Are you?
Pressing X hard right now.
Press X to
All right, here we go. Come on.
Natural one.
Come on, give me. It's not a natural one. But
It's a 2.
it's a 13.
What were you trying to? He seems like a boilerplate diplomat who would
Yeah.
A nice
Honey-
little
honey
pond.
pond.
sell his mother out for a better a seat at the
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
His performance outdid yours.
Yeah. Pretty much.
you certainly get the
He
sense
lives
that
it. It's not a performance.
he senses your distress,
Mhm.
and probably it's all filtered through the your encounter with him is filtered through the distress of what you because some of the information that he's sharing with you may be contrary to what you have believed all this time, been led to believe by your own personal experiences. So, but hey, maybe it is real. That's what I'm pulling for. Come home, Anupam. Come home, Anupam.
Product
Join
science. Come on, product
Don't go toward the light.
Okay.
Here's join her. Join her.
Yeah.
Oh, ball, give me the strength. Okay. So yes.
We're gonna make you a prince of the oubliette.
Right. So yes, I feel like it would really be a great idea if you were to come to the Ziggurat and we can have a dinner and maybe you can have a drink or two.
We will send word, and arrangements will be made for us to host you. Thank you, Lord Ambassador.
Thank you. Just turn right the fuck around.
Right.
On my heels. I
Won't work.
trudge the hell out of there. Is what I do.
Wait a minute, I thought you were supposed to be given some sort of status.
Well, that's all gone to fucking hell now.
Yes, why ever in the world would he need refugee status?
Yes.
Right, basically.
Now, this whole world just got turned on its ear. What?
Well, because it sounds like the country's back in order again.
Right.
Fine.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Everything's wonderful.
You have relatives in the fatherland?
Yes, everything is going great over there.
Ignores the Russians.
So, Anupam leaves the Great Casbah somewhat perplexed and nonplussed by the whole thing. And we will take a very short break.
Yes.
Come back in a few minutes and wrap up episode 14. Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
Alright, we're back.
Okay, thanks very much. We are back. Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us through the break. Welcome back to Zealots of Zul, episode 14, Plans, Fans, and Caravans. When we dropped before the break, Enopon had just left a rather... Oh, hello. Well, okay. There's an echo in here.
You're not supposed to watch
Hello,
while
I
we're
recognize
playing.
that voice.
Oh, right?
Phone's
Who
off.
would do something like that?
Voice is off. Enopon had just left a rather emotional and somewhat charged meeting with the ambassador from his homeland, a homeland that he didn't even know had been reestablished, or with an ambassador that he, so he wasn't thrilled with it. He smells something that
Smells the Rakshasa.
it smells of dead fish,
That was what the Rakshasas
wet
are
Rakshasa fur. Something
Smells the
like that.
Rakshasa.
So he left. Meanwhile, across town, at Arslan, Atlas, Kepri, and Sabine had just finished meeting with Dirhan, the slave of Khalil Azmi, who told them about another key that he possesses that they were not aware of, which will help them gain access into the reinforced steel vault door
Which we did not know existed.
in the treasure house. And we rejoined them. I think you were basically talking about
I was going about this would be my second or third time trying to bring up the subject, and I'm just waiting for Anupam to burst in and it's like, boy guys, I'm sure glad bam. Boy do I guys have something to tell you. But so anyways, now that that's over, I would appreciate it.
Would you like some wine or something?
No, I think I've been drinking enough of it already.
Is it over? I mean, shouldn't we continue to discuss this very important event and...
Well, yes, I mean, we can in a minute, but I have something I'd like to bring up.
Oh, very well.
No, thank you.
Am I interrupting anything?
No, not at all.
Mom says.
No, except Eliandra.
That's right, he wasn't.
No, not at all.
Oh, my good friend. Come in.
Atlas, Arslan, I would love a drink. Thank you. Lovely
I take
Sabine.
a drink.
What's wrong, Kepri? Cat got your tongue?
I know it's a little early, but it's one of those mornings.
It's never too early. Cheers. I come bringing excellent news. Next month, Lord Tremalkes is hosting a party at his villa, which is across the street from the treasure house.
How interesting.
His Yaldo festival on the longest night of the year.
Very nice.
Cover of darkness.
This festival is usually,
At the end of early.
what is it? What, just from past history, what?
He's having a party.
No, this festival is, but there's a lot of,
Revelry and drunkenness.
yeah,
There-
well,
yes.
no, but is there, any,
Can we get a
firework or, or music?
How many distractions? How many people in the
Yeah.
streets?
Yes, thank you.
Will there be people wearing masks? Will there be people carrying presents?
It's going to be a party at his house.
okay?
Still, sir, okay.
Get a
And
second.
on the longest night of the year, which gives us a few minutes more than other nights.
Gets us access to them.
Gets us very close.
And may include revelries and mummers out in the streets walking around, perhaps?
Anything is possible.
That sounds like something if you provide the booze, people will take. Booze in that
I
colorful
imagine with a
masks?
party like that, anything is probable.
But on the night itself, there's often revelers. If it's not too cold.
When do the invitees arrive to the party? Are some of them coming a day or days in advance?
That may be possible.
Well, it's apparent, I think we have our date for our little operation then. If ever there seemed like a better time.
You wouldn't happen to know the next time that Count Hadrithus will be in Vadashar, do you? Is there any events that you know of that he would be coming to? Is he coming to the bar?
I don't know. I can imagine that he would probably be on the list, but who knows if he's someone that likes to be subjected to Lord Tremalchi's. He's not a very popular nobleman.
Would be quite tight timing, Caravan map.
But you have over a month to plan.
It's true. That same night may not be enough time. It may not be possible.
What if we were to intercept some of the invites and then go as the people who were invited?
If it were not people that were known.
There's a lot of people, a lot of hanger-ons.
Well, that's the other thing, getting hold of some of the invites. I think our friend could produce.
It might possibly be easier to go
Just steal them.
with the entertainment.
Or perhaps go as guests, but you don't have to show up at the party either.
That just gets us into the
area.
Large parties, I'm sure that the Lord is not personally acquainted with each and every guest, if you catch my meaning.
Right.
A friend of a friend of a friend who owes someone a favor to get into a party.
Anupam, where were you going? I'm sorry, where were you going after you left?
Storming around the city.
Yeah.
Angrily.
Taking cats.
I would never.
You know,
I might punch somebody in the face, but I'd never kick a cat. No, I would actually be heading back to the Ziggurat, to be honest,
Okay.
because that's where my punching bag is. So, and I need it very badly right now.
I
So,
respect.
so
I'm sorry, not to interrupt your train.
we have a night that is probably the best night,
The longest night of the year.
longest night of the year, a party that we could probably make even bigger with the addition of booze and masks to the common rabble.
But as Alejandro suggested, there's no reason we would actually have to attend the party.
Well, I'm just saying, and I did not see, attending the party is an option, but I'm just saying we could make, what do the Andoses say? Bread and circuses will definitely make a good distraction if need be, if we must flee. Rather hard to chase a group through a crowd of drunken merrymakers as
Of
well.
course. But it could be something to put on our
It is just a thought.
passes.
Just a thought.
Well, thank you for the good news. That helps with the planning immensely.
Kemper and I were approached last night by our warehouses by someone wearing a mask and a couple of other people cloaked. And I'll
About 10.
describe the mask as best I can. Is that
About 10 of them.
some number above 3 or 4? Maybe 10, maybe 5.
It matters.
It was very dark. But they said that they knew of our interest. Do you know of anyone that might have known
Knew of
about
our
this?
interest in the treasure
In the
house.
treasure house. They
It's
said
not-
that they could.
No,
They said
that's
that
what we
they
said.
could potentially help.
We're getting an awful lot of help.
There's a lot of interest.
Everybody wants this place down except those who own it.
Of course.
But it concerns me that
How is word of this getting
getting
out?
around.
Was there a leak from one of ours, or was there a leak from the source?
I have a distinct feeling it's the source.
I would not.
The source being Khalil Azmi?
Yes. I mean, you haven't told anyone, have you?
No. My lips are sealed.
Very good.
Did he have an accent when he spoke, the person who was in the mask?
It didn't sound like he
It's
had
one of
an
those,
accent.
it's one of those muffled mask voices that you can never really tell.
Yes.
Mm.
Things have been going well as far as trying to figure out who, what, when, where, why, and how, all of those things. But that was disconcerting, having someone just show up with friends that knew of our interest in this.
Unless, of course, unless there are other interested parties who may be trying to see if you're interested.
Or other parties perhaps hired by the same individual? Do you think that is something he would do?
I don't know him well enough to know if he's capable of that or what would be the advantage of doing so, unless, of course, just... But you said you didn't recognize his voice.
Nor the mask.
Do you think it's a servant of his with loose lips?
What did he offer you? What did he
He
offer?
said he knew information on
Ways to-
on the grounds and the ways in and out.
On the ways in.
Spies within Osmead's own house telling parties waiting for him to make a move?
It's a sound theory. The only question is what you have to back it with.
Did he say what the best way or
That's
Just
she?
speculation.
He said there were different ways in, from the side, from underneath, and from above.
Underneath, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking underneath, but with proper entree into that part of town, underneath it actually becomes a better way out, not a good way in.
A way out with the loot you're taking.
Much easier to transport it underground than through the streets, I suppose.
We should have multiple points of entrance and egress
I agree.
in case
And actually,
something
Anupam,
becomes.
who's not here, had an interesting idea of using the silks as a way of moving very quickly a lot of product out of that place quickly. With silks, they go from the building to the wall and drop. That would be so fast, and you can move so much so quickly that way. Problem is, can you do it quietly, where no one catching wind?
Well, at the end of this thing, you're gonna need to get the loot away.
Yep,
We have a place to store it.
we have some ideas on that already.
I have a feeling of impending doom.
That's all right. I have that every day.
Breaking in won't mean anything unless you can move the score.
We've been
We've been working on that.
inroads there too. We can't leave that to chance, of course.
Leave as few things to fortune as possible. Do not give her a crumb.
Is it possible that the people who approached you are in fact genuinely interested in assisting for a cut?
Yes.
It may be it may be something we have to accept, that there will be far more people involved in this than we wished, and they will each want their piece of what is recovered.
We seem,
And it may be necessary to involve more people than we expected.
we seem to be making many cuts.
He said something about, Arslan said something that this person would be back in touch with him. I'm just trying to think of what other groups might be involved in this.
What other? Oh, I see what you
It
mean.
might be worth doing some counter spying or
Espionage.
some counter espionage on and find out who else is capable of doing it. That would be the first step, and then try and find a way to see if there's interest without them knowing that we're trying to find out if there's interest. See if we can narrow down the
Yeah, so that,
potential opponents to this.
And there's only a handful of truly decent rogues in Vanishar with skills, right? I mean,
It's a big handful.
well, no.
2 hands full.
I mean, there's
two scoops.
a lot of thieves in the city, you know.
Right. But
I'm
this
sure
is not
every-
like a regular thief kind of thing.
Well,
This is a big hit.
Yeah, this is a specialized.
I'm sure every bad thief thinks they can do it.
That's true. But what you're saying is that there's the caliber of person that could take on this thing, there would not be that many in your knowledge and experience, correct?
Well, the other, I mean, who's the, I guess the other thieves guild, as it were?
Right.
Who rounds that up, or who's the head of that?
Okay, so I see what you're saying. Well,
I'm just thinking some of these other groups might have gotten word of it and now are seeking a piece of the pie.
I actually drew I biffed actually because part of the reason I'll just jump back into it. The truth of the matter is that it could be that there's an Arabi gang operating out of the Den. The Den is near where the neighborhood that surrounds the arena of Bakashar, which is just beyond the precincts of the city. Because you were told that there was another. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's something I wanted to mention was you were told and you were going to the Queen to see if she was one of the ones who was in on it or something like that.
Right,
She
and
was
she
the
said
one.
she wasn't.
Yeah, and she's sort of possibly our one of if not our
Or you
fence.
said- Yeah.
I think it was the thing you're gonna do because you did go there originally for that. If my memory serves correct.
Right. Yeah, that's true. The word that I have is that this Arabi gang operating out of the Den, which kicks up to Kunderjen, has expressed some interest in it. But that could just be a rumor.
And how would they have discovered our interest in it?
Maybe it's entirely coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidence.
I don't know.
I believe in servants with loose lips in Osmond's house.
Our leaky pail is growing ever more leaky with how many people know of this plot.
So in answer to your agree, so Kunderjen would be one of the crime lords within the city. Kani Mugamba would be another. The Baker King would be another.
Yeah, my biggest concern is not that there's someone with interest, but that someone may use that as a way to frame us for what they succeed at. Which is
Not good.
not good.
Or worse yet, they may come to us seeking a portion of the reward in exchange for their silence and reap our benefits from our work with no cost to them. Because truly devious. Truly terribly devious. Oh.
I suggest we ready ourselves with alternate names, identities, and places that we wish to go should everything fall apart.
Oh, I know exactly where I'm leaving. It's right up there, and it'll take a madman to find me. Or a very skilled tracker. And a madman.
Where's Anupam all morning? I thought he was coming by.
I think he went to the ziggurats. I don't remember for what. I think he
He
went.
was going to see the patrician about his refugee status.
What?
What a strange thing to be worried about at such a time. I mean, we're essentially making ourselves into criminals here.
Essentially. Well,
Speak for yourself.
Well,
That-
thank you for coming by and giving us that information. That is very helpful. That will help
He's
us
just
in our
wondering where
plan.
his good friend Anupam is right now, okay? Did you ever think about that?
well,
I'm just carrying my water.
We
Well-
appreciate that.
now that that is behind us, I have something I wish to speak to you all about.
Yes, happy finally get
Yes.
to speak. Go ahead.
You guys won't believe what happened.
No.
Stalks in.
Everyone will kill you, I think, at this point.
No, not another word. Let me get this out.
No, go ahead, stop in.
No,
he's not.
I was joking.
No, that's what I was waiting for.
He's not there.
All right.
No, I already said I was going back to the ziggurat.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. 'Cause you said you were taking an hour after.
No.
I already said I was going back to the ziggurat. That's where my punching bag is.
Put his hand over his mouth.
Autopom, you made it. Having a meeting.
Lord of office, why have you forsaken me?
Go ahead.
No.
Wait, is this something that you wait for Autopom?
No. Yes, but no.
Okay.
Just get it out, Capri.
I'm trying. I've been trying for the last couple hours.
Fine. No one is stopping you.
No one is stopping me at this second.
Only you are stopping you by not speaking of it.
No. The spirits are watching. I know it. The moment I open my mouth about asking you all to come with me to come.
Out with it already.
That's what I was just doing. See, that's what happened. I was just about to say.
Capri, just tell us.
I was telling you. I need you to come with me to aid me in my trip to obtain my sister and her entourage.
Sister?
Sister. Stay away from my sister.
I thought you just were saying you wanted us to go
with you to get your sister.
But go with you to get your sister, but stay away from her.
No, you and Anupam can stay near the sister.
Fair enough.
I'm liking the sound of this already.
It is for your protection, I assure you, friend. But no. Checks the door again. Okay. Yes. I am sorry to spring this, but I would like your assistance. In about 2 days, I must make leave for Fort Zaid.
Fort Zaid.
Yes,
Which
Fort.
is-
Do I know where Fort Zaid is?
It's
a fortnight away.
It is
You would have heard
a
of it.
week.
It's a Quranian fort. It's in Quranian land, so it's a. But you would have heard of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How far is it?
About a week away.
Oh, wow.
So we have just a month to plan this, and you want us to take 2 weeks out of that month to go with you to get your sister.
Yes. What better time to talk about our plans away from any other prying ears than on the road?
Yes,
or rather
but
on the
what's
desert.
worse place to attempt to infiltrate parties, case the area, figure out where we're going and what we're doing?
I agree, the timing is not ideal, but
No.
family comes first.
She's not my family.
She can be.
How?
We do have several.
Was that a marriage proposal, Capri?
No, thank you. You'll forgive me, I'm not done sowing my wild oats yet.
We have several persons working behind the scenes to.
Let us put it this way. If it is entirely dependent on us and everything else, then it's going to fall apart rather quickly if we cannot trust our persons as consent. Plus, it will give us a chance to. It is obvious that there is loose tongues about, so it would throw off some suspicion if it doesn't seem like we are planning. Which we
Yes,
aren't.
there are loose tongues about, and tongues that I cannot cut out if I am not here.
Well, you don't know whose tongues to cut out anyway, so it's.
And I cannot find that out if I'm not here.
Well, I merely ask for your assistance, that is all. You will still have plenty of time to plan, and once more, we could plan on the way there.
She's the one carrying the silks.
She is also the one carrying the silks, so that is something we should probably look into.
Did I tell you about the silks?
No. She's super attractive.
This is unfortuitous.
No, she is an ugly hag. Stay away from her. If you do not wish to go, you're free to stay. I merely ask on our dear, deep friendship. I'm sure Brother Anupam will say yes when I find him.
But your brother Anupam is supposed to accompany me to the gardens where I'm performing so that he can take careful notes and make maps.
Yes. You can come get that when we get back.
That is not enough time. This is a terrible idea.
No, then I will go alone and I will die in the desert and you will feel bad.
I will
will
accompany
not.
you.
Thank
We will
you.
not go alone.
Thank you. Oh, wait, are you volunteering?
We'll go.
Thank
I'll go.
you.
I can't volunteer everyone.
Well,
Someone has to protect his sister.
I warned you, my friend. It is for your benefit, not mine, not hers. Your benefit.
Why is she so dangerous?
She's not. Probably not. I don't know. I do know.
Is there someone behind you speaking opposite of everything you say?
No, yes. Needless to say, it's complicated.
You get very flustered when talking about your sister.
I do. It's something I will have to discuss while we are while we were on the dunes.
We have to go
We are going through the
across the
wastes.
dunes?
We're going through the wastes.
Yes, and you already volunteered to accompany him.
Yes. I mean,
It's not so bad. I've been out there.
Wages of friendship.
don't worry. I've traveled the dunes many times and only have lost about a handful of caravan members.
So reassuring.
It is. A lot of merchants never make it.
I know.
To be fair, they didn't listen to me.
How
So
long is the caravan that we're meeting up with?
that I cannot.
How many camel?
Our camel or her camel?
Hers.
I wouldn't have that knowledge, or would I?
What is the question?
How big her caravan is?
Well,
Estimate. If I don't know it, I don't know.
no, I mean,
I can estimate.
yeah, you would imagine that it would bring, because it's bringing samples of things, so
Yeah.
it would be, so I mean, it would probably not be a large caravan, but it would be,
medium one at best.
Yeah.
It brings samples of the wares to trade. My sister, her entourage, the scribes, and
And the persons to
Handmaidens.
to start
you can.
an embassy of some kind.
Yes, it's
like he said, the scribes, those officials that
Yeah,
would be,
yeah, part of it.
that would assist in it, right? I mean, you do
They'll
know
be
that
important
you
for us to know, though.
Right.
If we're going to
It is.
turn that into an opportunity.
It is big enough that it will take them time, but not so big as to delay us by months.
Assuming the weather holds.
I have been checking. I have been checking the winds and praying to Lord Haket, and so far things have been fair.
Well, I am deeply reassured that you've been praying to your gods for fair weather and no delay when we have but a month to
I'm glad
pull off the largest heist that has ever happened in Vadishar and not miss our window.
I'm glad.
So comforted.
I am glad you are comforted. I seek to do my best. Don't worry.
If we're going to do this, we need to use this to our advantage, even in the heist. It should be made known that we're out of the town, made known that we're
That's what I was saying
doing
earlier.
something to create this facade, but at the same time, we need to have a lot of activities happening.
In order to make the timetable, assuming no sandstorms, pit traps, or being captured by bandits, we need to leave in about approximately 2 days as the hawk flies. I have prepared camels for all involved, as well as a wagon and enough supplies to last us longer than we will ever need to be out there. I know of a route or two that will speed us through. It is...
Can it be done in under 2 weeks?
we could possibly push it.
Or if we left tomorrow instead of in 2 days, would that make a difference? Or
It
the
might.
timing would not sync up with the arrival of your sister?
If we left tomorrow at break of dawn, we would probably beat the caravan maybe a day or two. And then we must make our way back.
And you're not sure how their travel has gone. They could be ahead of schedule or behind schedule.
I only know of the missus and I pull out the letter from my current letter. They have been They have encountered some additional considerations. What she has not mentioned what they are, but I do not think they have impeded travel too much.
Would she be someone invited to the party?
I would have no doubt that the visiting dignitary, the first of the Gameshambles, would receive an invitation from anyone who is anyone.
There are too many things happening at once. We need to streamline the situation.
All right.
Elian,
Simplicity is best.
Elian's still here, right? Yeah. Would you be able to see if an invitation could be put into the process for his sister?
For Lord Tremalki's Yaldo event, I cannot envision any circumstance by which he would not want to hold her hostage for the rest of her life as a guest.
I'm sure I will have to see that Big Brother does not let that come to pass. But if she, I believe, it is my firm belief that he would be a fool not to send out an invitation, especially with these
How would he know to send out an invitation? Do people know of her impending arrival?
There is talk in the courts.
Yes, the court knows. It has been discussed.
Yes, I understand. The courts have discussed it. It is no doubt, as the time approaches, the talk of the dusky stranger.
Because you brought it up
Oh yeah, no, I brought it up in the
right to the patrician
the
at his
patrician
court. Yeah,
and
so,
his what you call it, in the advisement.
the great chamberlain.
Great
Right.
chamberlain, yeah. So,
Anupam, you're at the temple,
Got the ziggurat, yes.
and what were you going to get?
Training so hard that my equipment breaks, pretty much,
yeah,
more or less.
Make a
to break your equipment.
make a strength check.
Would this not?
Well, actually, I should try. What were you?
Oh,
gonna
because I use Dex for everything. So.
Okay, yeah, do a,
Attack.
yeah.
All right.
You sprained your ankle.
13.
Your focus
Well-
is off.
Yep.
You're on tilt.
You're
right
right because you're so angry
I am uncentered
and,
right
and
now.
uncentered that it's all, you know.
Yeah.
He's on tilt, boys.
Mm-hmm.
You need booze. That always recenters you.
And the
Needs a distraction.
after a certain amount of time of this, and you while you're regrouping, one of the priests of the temple approaches you. He's older, actually is the major domo. This just arrived for you, and it's a package in a very wrapped up in very ornate
Tiger skin.
ornate packaging.
I was gonna say, good God. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Molly.
Who's it from? Do you know?
It came by messenger.
Thank you. I'll try to open it.
And you open it up, and it's a decorated silk fan. It's large, and it's in the motifs of your homeland. Beautiful, naturalistic scenes that remind you of the valleys of Gurdwara, and in the distance you see there's actually one of the there's a hand-decorated castle on a mountain which is representative of the monastery, and it looks beautiful, and it's clearly in the style and artistry of Gurdwaran artists.
I know who this is from. I know exactly who this is from. I'll fold the fan back up. Not give in to the temptation to just break it and burn it right here and there, and I'll just put it back in the box, close it up, and just pretend I never saw it.
Make a
Yep. Rolling D20, boss. Oh, that's actually pretty good. It's like 17.
okay.
He pulled something out.
Yeah, right.
What's that?
Uh-oh, he pulled something out.
Oh boy! I just wanted to see what he was running. Okay. You actually in your through the haze of your anger and the frustration, you managed to get control of yourself, and focus your resentment and anger and confusion into something that's more manageable and
Inanimate.
yeah.
Got it. Start working on some speed punches. You know, try to punch as quickly as I can, at least. Usually centers me pretty well. And then after that, I'm gonna try to see if I can get myself recentered again. Meditate a little bit.
Should we send for Anupam? I think he needs to know about some of these things we're discussing.
Probably.
Yes, he should be here.
Shall we?
We need his
I'm gonna send one of your.
balance that he brings to things. Okay, I'll send someone. I'll go out now.
You'll send
One of your-
Tarantino's?
One of your employees.
Overworked and underpaid.
I don't know, there was like a day he didn't open up the stall or something. I don't know that he's underpaid.
Man, I wasn't even supposed to come to the stall today. My day.
I was supposed to be here today.
And Anupam's, or rather Arslan's man eventually comes to get you at the zero.
Right. Oh.
My master would like to see you at his emporium,
Right.
if you have time. This is a nice place.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I got time. All right, I'll be over in a bit. I'm just gonna take a minute.
You might want to take a look at those. He points to your bloody knuckles.
They're fine. All right, let's go. And I'll start heading over to Arslan's.
Tarantino's returns with Anupam.
Ah, you're back.
Yeah.
You missed the opportunity to interrupt.
Oh, did I?
What just happened to you?
You look like shite, friend.
Didn't we just fix you? What happened to your hands now?
This is something self-inflicted.
You should probably not
Why?
do that.
Are you a flagellant?
No, it's just I met somebody today who, let's just say, has made my life just a little bit more on the downside.
Well, you know what would help you with that? Some traveling.
To be fair, the last time I traveled is when I came here.
But then you met us. And your life has been made ever richer for it.
That's a valid point. Who did
Potentially
you meet?
even
What's
richer.
happened?
You know what? Actually, let me ask you all a question.
Okay.
How much do you think it would cost to buy the soul of a political worm who sells out all of his people and his country?
Ooh, I do love riddles.
To actually buy his soul, or simply in a metaphorical way?
And metaphoricals.
Oh.
Maybe literal. I don't know. I mean, they are Rakshasas after all. I really don't know.
Oh.
Political worms tend to come cheap.
Yeah.
I said something not fun.
So,
Right.
you remember I told you I was going to meet up with the patrician for refugee status.
Yes, I've informed everyone.
Yes.
So, I went to go speak to him with the high priest.
This is why I don't get involved.
I went to go inform him of the situation. I left Gurdwara and it was much to his surprise, considering there was in fact a representative from Gurdwara.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that
No.
good?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Not if the enemy has sent
I thought he said he's the last one.
I'm the last of my order.
He's the last legitimate one.
Yes. He came by, this Tahir Khan, he came by saying everything was great in Gurdwara now. That the sovereign Prince Akbar has now taken power. There is no sovereign Prince Akbar. There hasn't been in over 100 years.
All right, calm down. Tahir Khan, you said.
Yes, that's his name.
That is no lowly political worm, then. That would be a prince of blood.
Well, maybe he was at one point.
Or at
Or
least
maybe
a
his
prince by
family was
marriage.
at one point. There has not been a sovereign ruler over Gurdwara in centuries.
But are there not likely hundreds of princes vying for the title? Is it not possible that they may have been successful?
The odds of that happening are very slim,
Well,
considering the circumstances. that
And
is.
yet it happened.
Well, it
Sounds like.
sounds as if the Rakshasa have put a political pawn into place
well,
in order to legitimize their conquest.
You made a good point. It's time for a trip.
trip. Well, look at it this way, brother. You are now have a target
For your anger.
for your anger, and a convenient way to strike at the Rakshasa kings. Via
Yes.
this, what did you call, what was his name?
Tahir Khan.
Tahir Khan.
Oh, that will hardly do anything to them. They'll just send someone else in his
It'll make
place.
him feel better.
Well, he's
Well,
already been
lying
extended
down.
an invitation to the
You do it all the
ziggurat.
time.
I do not.
Hmm?
So,
I'm always
at
true.
some point within the next couple nights, I will actually get to speak with him one-on-one.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I thought we were leaving tomorrow.
Timetable
We're
is.
leaving
You are
tomorrow.
leaving tomorrow.
I mean, I know we were just talking about traveling just now. Why or
They
why
are
would
leaving
you-
tomorrow.
Why would?
Well, you see, something I neglected to mention.
Yes, you
Uh-huh.
did.
Well, I figured you all knew with the silks, but it just slipped my mind. It was a little thing.
That we would have to accompany you.
A little
That's
bit.
not a little thing.
Oh, it's just a small thing. It's just a short trip over the wastes.
At least 2 weeks. Not
Oh,
short at all.
A week and a half.
To
if we
help
push
him
it.
accompany his sister back.
Aha, right. I remember you speaking about you needing to leave in order to meet up with the caravan that's going to be coming here, with the caravan with which your sister is a part of.
Yes.
And he apparently expected us all to go with him.
Oh, did he now?
Yes, we're to
I-
drop everything.
I've expected my friends to assist me in an endeavor that's near and dear to my heart. Brother Anupam, if you asked me to go to Gurdwara right now, Kopesh in hand, and help you slay the Rakshasa kings, I would drop everything and go.
Then who would pick up your sister?
I would. Stay away.
The exception that proves the rule.
All right,
Surely,
I
if you wish to stay here with some, you may.
look.
I will not presuppose you.
Look. I am not against accompanying you on this trip.
I think personally, I think leaving the city would help clear your head and center yourself, and allow you to figure out what your next move is. You are angry. It is simple to see from your knuckles.
And we could also have Alejandro and some others find out a little bit more about this
Tahir Khan.
new gentleman from your homeland.
Yes.
Make some inquiries. Find out what information there is to be had.
No doubt he has servants from the old country you can pry info from that's not from his honeyed lips.
Is that something you think you could
I can.
do?
The only thing they can say is no.
It is up to you. I will not force anyone. Listen, Arslan,
I definitely
So
won't say
graciously
no
me.
to some well-established information on this gentleman.
It's always better to
Not say
have
gentleman, on this
information.
man. Huh, I say man on this person.
You know nothing of this person at the moment. I think getting some information and some background could help immensely. Information is always invaluable.
You know what,
Especially when
nothing.
you don't know your foe.
I will tell you something. Nothing would make me happier than to find out that I am completely wrong and everything actually is good back at home. Nothing would make me happier than to learn this.
excellent.
But I really don't think that's what happened.
Yelling and screaming about it will do nothing.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I apologize for raising my voice.
And you do need to build up allies.
Maybe. At some point, this con, if we are successful, can be turned to your side.
I don't think I would trust anybody who would do.
I did not say trust him. I said turn him. I just speak.
One way or another, I need to find out if he has actually accepted the invitation to the ziggurat, which I'm assuming he has, considering he's already sent me a gift.
Oh, what did he send you?
A very lovely-looking fan with a depiction of the monastery on it.
You didn't touch it, did you?
I took it out of the box it was in to look at it.
He touched it.
You think it may have been poisoned or something?
Why not?
Wash your fingers.
Take one of his hands.
What?
Here, have some water. It's acidic.
Lick your fingers clean.
Oh, how devious. How devious. The poison wasn't contact, it was ingestion.
I will prepare some charcoal for you, just in case it turns out that you absorbed some poison into your body.
I would prepare some ancient chemist recipe for
If you tell him to put meat on his hands, so help me carry.
That's just silly. Well, you don't put meat on his hands for curing poison. That is the epitome of silliness. As I was saying, I would prepare one for you, but unfortunately I have to make preparations for leaving.
Right, yeah.
Now I must know, do you wish to accompany me? I will not force your hand. You and Sabine can stay,
So we'll be leaving in 2 days then.
if you wish. 2 days is when we must leave. If you wish to speed up the timetable by a day or two,
I say we leave a day early.
He may be having an important meeting with this Khan.
I think that you could probably afford to put that off.
I do not think he will be too offended.
I don't know that you know what you want to say to this man yet, correct?
You can think about what to tell him while we're on the trip.
I really don't.
And if this meeting is more for your benefit, then I suggest don't approach him from a position of weakness or confusion.
Right. We need knowledge.
Perhaps it would benefit you to
Information.
take some time to learn some more diplomatic skills for dealing with your enemies.
And if he is your enemy, then that fan was a taunt more than anything.
Yeah.
After all, were you not surprised by this? Did you expect this coming?
I most certainly did not.
Then he has you at a disadvantage already, and we're going to meet him in a day or two hence. You still walk into a trap. You're better off throwing yourself off the heist roof. Probably survive that more.
You're right.
I don't mean to twist your arm, but
No,
I'm only
you're
looking
right.
out for your best interests.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I always am.
While you were gone, I will make sure that Tremalkis knows about the arrival, if he does not know already, and you can believe he did. He's probably already thinking of the best way to ask the patrician to appoint him as ambassador to Kemet.
I'm sure. He seems like a charming fellow.
No, you haven't met him.
I have not, but given the reaction, I did not think he would be.
I have met him.
What are your thoughts on him?
Oh, he was awful.
Yes, I
He
suspected.
drones on and on. Everyone dislikes him. I'm sure I can get in to see him and, if need be, get an invitation to parties. It won't be difficult. He is desperate for...
Well, you already have. You're already working the part.
Oh, okay,
You were already.
yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
That was because last week he said he had gotten you a job working.
Oh,
And that
it
was
was
that
there?
was that
Okay.
party. Correct. That was the party.
He's desperate for guests to see, desperate for attention. I'm sure there'll be no problem getting even the rest of you in or around the party if need be.
With all
His
this-
money cannot buy him charm.
So with all this news and excitement, let's go get something to eat. I'm hungry.
I thought I saw some.
I was just gonna ask you, did you find the forger that we need?
I am awaiting to find out if my contact can get us the forger.
That would be something that could be done while we were out.
I thought I saw an interesting shawarma stand over there.
Interesting.
Shawarma.
Shawarma.
Tomorrow we should probably go
That's like a pita
see.
pocket that would meet.
Oh,
Here.
shawarma yurt.
Oh, yes. We should make a pressing.
The street food sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I'd like to see a duplicate made.
that's a good idea. But we do need to meet with him. Talk about that once later.
Yeah.
Let's go get something to eat.
You're talking about Durhan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're saying I'd like to get a pressing made of the key.
Sure.
He's supposed to meet later tonight, is he not?
Let's see.
Excellent. Let us go fill our bellies.
And that's where we're going to stop for the night.
Alright.
Thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back
Everybody.
next week. Have a very safe and happy New Year. Thanks very much for joining us for these first 14 episodes. We'll see you in 2020.
See you everybody.